Welcome to Michigan's True Spirit podcast, brought to you by North River Vodka. North River Vodka, it's Michigan's true spirit. Now, here's Chris and Eric.
Strange winds surround us here at the peninsula. Thank God you found us. We could become friends or whatever.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. I'm Chris. I'm here with my friend Eric. Say hello, Eric.
Hello.
Hello. We decided last week that we were going to go without guests, and we've decided that we had so much fun, we're just going to do that again. We promise if you want guests, we have some really good guests coming later this month. There is a cat in my backyard on camera. Can you see that? I don't have a cat.
You
That's
do
weird.
now.
I do now. Don't feed it. It will never leave. This is the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. We talk about all things Michigan. We talk about sports, food, beverage, tourism, travel, culture, music. Have I missed anything at all, Eric?
Dance, interpretive dancing.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that. Episode 5 million. We'll talk about interpretive dancing. But first of all, before we get started, we're going to talk about a little bit of sports today. We're not a sports podcast, but there's a lot going on in Michigan in sports. But first of all, today, what are you drinking, Eric?
Oh, I have some margarita on the rocks. I made it with a little cachaça, the Brazilian rum. I got to make it a little fancy, but yeah, I got a margarita.
You always got to have to use in the drinking portion. You always have to use a word that I've ever heard, right? And maybe I'm just a rube who doesn't get out much.
I got to be a little bougie.
A little bougie. I have a bottle of North River vodka, of course, and I would call this a mule, but really all of this is vodka and ginger beer. I didn't even bother to find a lime wedge or lime juice or anything. I do have the fancy square ice cube, so we're just going to trick ourselves.
Do you make your own ice?
Wait, I have an idea. If it's a mule without lime, is it like half-assed? You like that? Yeah, I just thought of that. I'm having a half-assed. So, do I make my own ice cubes? I make my own square ice cubes, but I do not make fancy clear ice cubes. Can you tell me how you do that?
Oh yeah, you got to do that. That's the move.
How do you do that?
You get yourself a little like igloo cooler, or just like any kind of cooler.
Once. Yeah.
And you fill it half full of the water, and then you put it in the freezer. And 24 hours is about the sweet spot for about 1.5 inches. Don't let it freeze all the way, 24 hours. And then you dump it out and don't let it freeze all the way through. And then you'll get perfectly clear ice.
All right. I'll
take a
try
bread
that
knife,
sometime.
cut it up into cubes. It's the move.
Yeah. All right. I'll try that sometime. It seems like I put one of my big square ice cube makers inside of a cooler once, inside of the freezer, and tried this, but it's been a while. I don't remember if it actually worked.
It's tough to not get it cloudy without, with those kind of things.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about it. We try to say this once per episode per our expansive legal department. But please drink responsibly. If you're not going to drink responsibly, don't drink at all.
You should probably do everything responsibly. Get your life together. What have you been doing?
We can't help everybody with all their problems, but we can convince them, or at least encourage them to drink responsibly.
We can judge them silently.
Sure. All right. So why don't you introduce why don't you introduce our introductory segment with what are we talking about today?
Okay. I have stock up, stock down. Everybody loves the stock market and paying attention to your investments. So I have some sports and also some non-sports. So when you're evaluating a stock, you're looking at a couple of things like what's it been doing lately? Like, is the price low? Is the price high? And then it's like you project into the future. Am I going to buy this? Like, is it low and going up? Or is it kind of at a top point and, maybe you should chill out and not buy into the hype?
I so appreciate you mansplaining how the stock market works.
I'm trying to set up this segment, Chris.
Go ahead, man. You're doing a great
Anyway,
job.
buy low, sell high is the ticket to the stock market. Or anything else in life. Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of these, some sports ones and some non-sports ones, and we'll kind of break it down. All things Michigan. All right, first up we have the Lions, the Detroit Lions. And I would say their stock is running pretty high right now.
Yeah, am I supposed to buy or sell at this point? Stock up, stock down? What am I talking about here?
I mean,
You just explained the stock market to me, and I'm still not clear on my job.
I'll break it down for you. So they lost to the Packers, but they've been killing people lately. Not destroying, but their stock is pretty high. So are you going to say yes, you're buying the Lions. They're going to continue upward. Are you holding or are you selling the Lions?
Well, if you give me an option on hold, that's kind of a cop out. So I'll buy. Like they won 15 games
Really?
last year. They won 15 games last year.
That's
They're
true.
not going to win 15 games this year, but I think they are. I think they're on the right path. I think they're slowly improving. I think their young players are getting better. I think they will continue to draft and coach well. Like I think the future, I don't know if it's this year, but I think the foreseeable future is very bright for the Detroit Lions. Again, I'm kind of splitting hairs because there's no way they're going to win 16 games this year.
Right.
But I'll buy. I'm not going to hold on any of these. That's just a cop out. That's just
Might they win a playoff game this year? I could see that.
they
Yeah.
might win a playoff game. I'm kind of concerned for their short term performance here. The next 2 weeks, they play two really good teams, and they
Yep.
are down, I believe, four out of their top five defensive backs, which
Oh
makes
wow.
life very difficult. But I think long term this year and in coming years, like I don't, people talk about a playoff window for them this year. That's ridiculous. They have so many good young players, a lot of them who are signed. I'm buying.
Yeah. And Goff, is getting older, but I'm like quarterbacks can do that. I mean, especially his style quarterback, he's not
Yeah,
taking a lot of beating, he's fine.
yeah.
I'm not inclined to buy. Like they're running pretty hot right now. I'd be inclined. I'm not going to say sell, but I'd hold on the Lions.
Yeah, that's the easy way out. Go ahead and
I'm
hold.
soft. Right.
That is soft.
All right. Next we have the Tigers. The Tigers, I would say, are volatile. Yeah.
They're volatile, and we are recording this on a Wednesday evening after I thought
Yeah.
they were dead today, and they stormed back and actually got some hits. I think they scored
Couple
as many
small
runs
things.
today as they have in the past 78 days. That you might want to get our fact checker. Maybe Logan can do fact checking work. I doubt that's correct. It certainly seems like it though. They're volatile, but I will buy on them as well because I think they have for the first time in a long time, a lot of young talent coming up from the minors. I'm really curious to see how the roster is constructed next year. I think they've got a bunch of starting pitchers that they are either excited about or stuck with. I think bullpens are bullpens. They come and go. I'm really curious how they balance an infield next year when they've got a bunch of young guys in the minors who they want to try out and promote, yet they still want to compete and contend. Um, I don't know. I think they got some work on the infield, and I think they need to eliminate one guy who strikes out a ton with a veteran who does not. That's my thing. So, but I'll buy. They're young. They are like the last 2 years a playoff team, which is cool. They're barely a playoff team, which means they have kind of room to grow, I think. So I'll buy.
Yeah, I'm buying as well. I'm buying. I they got a lot of young guys coming up. They have like the best farm system in baseball. There's a lot of upward opportunity for them. I'm still buying. I'd love to see them extend Scooble. I'd love to see them.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know, right? But come on, this is Major League Baseball, right? Are we always going to be a bottom feeder? Like, get with it.
Salary wise, I mean, if you're in a central division in either league, you are kind of a bottom feeder salary wise. But that's another thing. That's another reason to buy, frankly, is they didn't even win the division this year. I would assume they'd be the division favorites next year.
Mhm.
You can try to argue that Cleveland's better, but that's a tough sell, I think, even though they won more games. They got outscored this year. Like, when's the last time a team won a division when they got outscored for the season? And that is something you can only do in the Centrals.
Yep.
So I think the division is ripe for the taking next year. So let's buy.
Buy. We're buying. We're both buying.
Both
Red
buy.
Wings. I hardly follow the Red Wings. I was so big into the Red Wings in college,
Yeah.
right? Because they were
Yeah.
so
Same.
good. They were
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
It was intense.
Yeah.
And, they haven't made the playoffs in what, 10 years now?
I'm the
After this.
same as you. Used to watch them a ton. Used to be
Yep.
really fired up about them. I've said this before on this podcast. And you're tired of hearing it. I was a sports writer for a while, and it kind of reduces your ability to be a fan. So I, at some point, kind of tailed off on the Red Wings. As much as I love watching a hockey game, this is going to sound crazy. I haven't watched a hockey game in years. All I know about the Red Wings is they haven't made the playoffs in forever. Oh, gosh, I don't even know if I only want to buy because we're buying so low, right? Like, what else could they do?
I
Like,
mean, they could get worse. They could get worse. A
what?
sell. What do they got going for them? They got nothing.
Am I?
I'm
I can't
selling.
buy everybody.
I'm selling. The Red Wings.
You know what?
Have they
Screw it. I'll
shown
sell them too.
any kind of glimmers of promise? Like,
Yeah, actually I would like to go back in time and sell 10 years ago. Can I do that?
No,
I'll switch. I'm with you. I'll sell. They're
it's bad.
yeah.
The Detroit Pistons.
You go first.
Well, they were historically bad 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and they looked pretty good at times last year. They pushed the Knicks in the playoff series. Um, I think they're only going to get better this year. They're putting some pieces around them. I think they got a little unlucky last year at the end. Um, I'm buying the Pistons. I like the Pistons. I think they're going to be good. Make the playoffs. They're young, exciting.
I'm pausing for a minute. I said I wasn't going to hold. I will buy the Pistons long term, 2 or 3 years down the road because they are improving. I'm going to hold this year, and I don't pay that much attention to the Pistons either. But I think the loss of Malik Beasley is gonna affect them this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Did he get busted for what, gambling or
he
something?
he was investigated for gambling, and then I believe I hope let's our legal department says this is all we don't
Hearsay.
know. We should
Allegedly.
Google, maybe we should Google
Allegedly.
this, but I believe the FBI investigated him and dropped their investigation. But I believe
Oh,
the NBA might still be doing some sort of
yeah.
investigation. There's a story from 3 hours ago. I just Google. Oh wait, well 7 hours ago somebody said Malik Beasley will sign with the Memphis Grizzlies, and then three
Oh.
hours ago somebody said the Cavaliers are interested in him.
So
Um,
not the Pistons.
not the Pistons. And I know they spent a bunch of money to replace him, and I'm not sure they would have if they would have known he was going to be available. But once they spent that money to replace him, I'm not sure it was in the cards to bring him back. So let's just let's I'll hold. I said I wasn't going to, but this isn't talk radio. I don't have to be black or white. I could
Yeah.
just be gray.
Speaking gambling stuff, have you been following the Emmanuel Clase stuff for the closer for the Indians?
Very lightly, casually explain if you have been.
I
Tell me what's
I
new.
haven't followed it either, but
Oh,
there's some conspiracy. Well, it's not conspiracy theories, like he's being investigated. But
mhm.
I tell you, like you're a you're a poker guy.
I'm
I
not a
shouldn't say a
gambler.
gambling guy.
I'm not a gambler. I play
Poker is a
poker.
game of skill, obviously. But like at some time, this stuff is going to overlap. It's going to bite somebody in the butt if it's not starting already. Like it's
Well,
kind
with
of
the
bad.
with the with just the influx of like you can bet on every pitch. You can bet like every time there's a hit, the your odds change for the rest of the game. Like you can bet a game 1,000 times during the game. And it's so easy to do on your phone. There's a lot of guys I think just get on their phone not realizing that like a lot of the rules, not know what league it is. You can gamble on sports if you were at home, but if you place the bet from your phone while you're in the locker room or the clubhouse or whatever, you're in trouble. Like you can't gamble on league
Oh,
property. Like
sure.
there's so many weird. I hate to say that those guys like I feel bad for them because they're gray areas, but man, the leagues and the teams beat stuff into those guys' heads about what you can and can't do.
Yeah,
And if you pay attention, you probably should be
should be
able to
fine.
avoid those things.
I
So
agree.
yeah, yeah, a lot of
Okay.
stuff.
Stock up, stock down. The Michigan craft beer industry. I don't know if you've been following this. I don't know if you can comment on this, but evidently,
For legal purposes, you don't know if I can comment.
I don't know if you want to, but like some of the craft beer stuff is taking a hit. Preferences are shifting a little bit.
Mhm.
So what do you say? Do you like a nice craft beer? And is this going up, holding, or down? What do you think?
I think I would sell, but I would only sell because it's been so high.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
if you're from Michigan, you might not realize that if you go to 38 states in this country, craft beer barely exists. Like
Okay.
Michigan has been craft beer heaven for what, a
Yeah.
decade or whatever. So at some point it grows to the point where it can't really
It's saturated. The market's
it's
saturated.
saturated and I love a good Michigan craft beer as much
Mhm.
as the rest of the world. Although I'm getting a little older, there's fewer and fewer beers that I can drink that don't make me feel awful. I don't know if this is a common thing, but as I get older, I'm
Sure.
stuck with like sours. Really
Hmm.
like sours. Um,
It's a
there's
lot
a
of
lot of good craft
carbs.
beer out there.
People are more health conscious. Some of young people are really, just watching what they drink a little bit more. And
Yeah, a lot of young people are not drinking at all, which is great. It's not good for me in the vodka business, but I have no qualms about people if
yeah.
they don't want to drink. You definitely shouldn't drink at all. That's cool. I got no beef with that at all.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I I probably am selling, like, because of the saturation.
Yeah.
So buy or sell the sport of soccer in Michigan. Grand Rapids just introduced their second or third tier soccer team. Sporting SC Grand Rapids, Sporting
Hmm.
Club Grand Rapids. They showed a little logo. They're building Amway Stadium right next to 131 there. It's under construction. Detroit City exists. I think there's a couple of other ones. I think a lot of people, guys our age, dad age, have had kids play soccer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, what do we think about the state of the sport of soccer in Michigan?
I will buy, and I'm going to briefly explain my background in soccer for 45 years of my life. And I'm a guy, I try not to be like, if I don't like something, it's not that sucks. It's just, I don't like it. Right. Like people have different tastes. Like just because I say I don't like soccer doesn't mean soccer sucks. It just means it's not my cup of tea. But for a long time in my life, I said soccer can't suck because 2 billion people on earth love it. There must be something there that I just don't understand. And then I started watching soccer. My son played high school soccer, and we attended some soccer games with like, Man United or whatever. And there is something to soccer. It's extremely enjoyable.
Mhm.
I like watching it. I drive by a high school field occasionally, and I'm always like, man, I wish I didn't have plans, which is why I'm in the car. Or I would just stop at this high school and watch a high school soccer game. Like I
Sure.
dig watching soccer. So I will buy soccer in Michigan. I know that Detroit team has a rabid following, and it's
Mhm.
great to see Grand Rapids get a team. I don't know if it'll be huge in Michigan ever, but the fact that Grand Rapids is getting a team tells me that I should buy.
I'm buying too. I about 10 years ago, when Premier League broadcast came to the United States, I picked the teams. I've watched almost more than half of the Newcastle United games is my favorite team. I've been watching them and I really just enjoy it. It's a different pace than a lot of the American sports. It's just continual action. Even if it's not intense, there's always something going. There's a little posturing. It's a different it's a different viewing experience than
Hmm.
say American football or whatever. But I enjoy it. I think it's got a promising future here in the state. Um, I am excited about so there's two major leagues. There's like MLS and then there's the other one. I think it's the US, whatever the other one is. I should know this, but they're going to be introducing promotion and relegation.
Mm.
And that to me makes it spicy. I like that.
I don't know if you can hear me clapping on my camera, but I think if American sports can learn anything
Mhm.
from world soccer, it's promotion and relegation.
Yeah.
I wish Major League Baseball would take both Centrals and the five other worst teams and put them in Division B and make them fight their way out of it into Division
Awesome.
A.
He's
It
so
would be
sweet.
incredible. The more leagues that introduce promotion and relegation,
Oh my
the
gosh.
better.
But I think
Absolutely
that's
the
that
better.
league's opportunity MLS has gotten to be a rich league now, but I think this is an opportunity for them to do something. So
Mhm.
anyway,
Absolutely. Cool.
let's see. One last one. I know this is a little bit regional, but are you familiar with Art Prize
Yeah.
in the city of Grand Rapids?
Yeah.
Buy or sell? It's just gotten through. It ran really hot for a while. Art Prize is a big thing. And then it kind of and I think it's got a little bit of juice again. Are you buying or selling Art Prize?
I'm going to preface my vote with the fact that I've never been to Art Prize.
Hmm.
I only know of Art Prize what I read about it and what I hear about it. So I am probably not the person that you should take stock advice on for Art Prize. But I will sell.
You're gonna sell.
I'm going to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, it was down, I think it was down far enough where it got almost a little bit underappreciated.
Mhm.
And this year, I think they had a pretty good winner. It was like this woven glass thing that was really impressive.
Yeah.
With the government shutdown stuff, some of the buildings were closed. I like Art Prize. I don't always go. It's right in my backyard. I should be going. Like I'm the target audience for this, but I feel like stuff is kind of scattered. You have to work for it a little bit. But Art Prize, it happens at a really nice time of year. I think there's always opportunities for people to. I'll buy Art Prize. I like Art
Buy an
Prize.
Art Prize. So this is my impression of Art Prize, and correct me if I'm wrong. from an outsider's point of view, and again, I don't pay much attention to it. I was under the impression that like people vote for the art prize winner, right?
True.
Like that for a long time, the art prize winner was really, really good art. And then at some point it became like, okay,
Gimmicky.
it became like we're gonna name a boat and the winner was Boaty McBoatface
Yep.
because it was funny and popular, not because it was necessarily good.
Yep.
And that's the sense I got for art prizes that the winner lately hasn't always been great art. It's just been
Gimmicky. Yep.
gimmicky or accessible or something, which is fine. Like people vote popular vote ought to win, right? But
Yep.
that was just my impression from an outsider. But I probably,
I think that's right.
before I speak another word on this, should stand art prize.
So they have like jury selections too. So they have the fancy people who select winners too. But,
Nice. Very nice. Yeah.
okay. That's the segment. Buy or sell. So, come to us with all your stock questions next time and we will answer.
Absolutely.
North River Vodka. It's Michigan's true spirit. Now back to Chris and Eric.
Welcome back to the Michigan Street Spirit Podcast. This is this is a segment that we call, I want to cover something before we go any further. Okay. We talked last week about doing clarifications and corrections. All right. You know me, Eric. I'm a written communicator, right?
You are.
When I speak on this podcast,
I will call you and you will hang up on me and text me back. Like,
basically,
don't talk to me.
I think I'm a good writer. I'm not a good speaker. When I'm on this podcast, about 10 to 100 times per episode, I say something that's not exactly what I want to say. It's just close. So when I say I don't know where fluoride is made, I know that fluoride is not made. I know it's, but you know what I mean.
Close
Like
enough.
I'm just close. I'm just close. When I say that last week, I said Bryce Canyon looks like Grayling. Bryce Canyon itself doesn't look like Grayling at all. The area around Bryce Canyon looks like Grayling. So just excuse me, just assume that I'm smarter than I sound. I don't know if I am. But anyway, this segment is called My Michigan. I'd like to say we love the name, we hate the name. But generally we speak about a location or an event going on in Michigan. And tonight we are going to talk about Michigan jobs. So I have a friend who is a very successful businessman. He owns a business that's been around for more than 50 years. They got 20 employees. Their business, I believe, does very well. And he's a friend of mine. I hang out with him and his wife sometimes. And I've heard on multiple occasions that when he retires, instead of riding off into the sunset and enjoying retirement, he would like to spend a summer in Mackinac Island making fudge.
I think, oh, yeah.
So
It's
let's
great.
just throw some Michigan-centric jobs out there and talk about whether we would like to do them or whether we would like to be in that area, etc. So let's start with Mackinac Island fudge. Eric, would you like to spend a summer sometime in your life, like standing in front of the window making fudge? And you're nodding your head, yes, I would like to hear why.
Yeah. All the ladies would be outside the window looking in the man aquarium, at me doing my thing. For sure. Be swooning. I'd be the number one tourist attraction paddling my fudge. Yeah. My brother-in-law did that in Saugatuck one time. The jokes were not pleasant. He kind of quit, but I tell you what, I would do that. I, you know, all the old ladies, they could put a little tip in my apron.
I'm adding paddling the fudge to my
Yeah.
list of band names.
You know, you got the fudge ore, you got the copper kettle. I would do that. I'd love that job.
I'm just going to take the rest of this episode off and let you wax poetic about paddling fudge.
No joke though, working on Mackinac Island would be sweet. Like you have a little close-knit community of like people there, and then you have all these people coming in from all over the world,
Yeah.
speaking all different kinds of languages. Like it would be fascinating, somebody from England or Germany or Peru,
Sure.
like and there's bars, like they're coming. This is like the number one tourist attraction in Michigan. Like they're coming for the quaint stuff. So like it'd be fascinating to just hang out in bars at night and talk to people from all over the world. And it's quaint AF, right? You don't
Yeah.
have the cars. You probably won't get run over. I think it'd be great. Your friend is on the right track.
I don't know if I want to do it really for a summer, but I get the draw, and I get the draw of it doesn't seem complicated, right?
Yes.
Like when you have a job, when you're an adult and life is so hard and complicated at times and your job is so stressful. Like this is not a Michigan job, but when I was in high school and then kind of between college, long story. Um, I worked as a dairy manager at a grocery store.
Hmm.
And ever since then, whenever life has been stressful, I'm like, you know what I would like to do for a living? I would like to stack cheese. Like there was something about buying cheese,
Stacking
throw
that
it on the
cheddar.
shelf, throw some eggs on the shelf, buy some milk. It disappears. You order more. The biggest pressure is that you have to rotate it. So the oldest cheese is up front, and everybody circumvents that by reaching towards the back anyway. But yeah, like I miss the days of stacking cheese. So I guess I get the draw of paddling the
Yeah.
fudge.
This is a good theme because it's going to lead me to one of the other ones I had written down. And this is unironically a job that I think I would love. And it's not elegant, it's not glamorous, but I want to be the guy like at Founders or one of these breweries that goes around and picks up the empty glasses. I don't want to take your order. I don't want to bring you beer. I just want to walk around and you're like, hey, you done with that? Yeah. Okay. And I take your glass, I bring it to the back, I wash the dishes, I wash the glasses, go back to the bar, restock them, walk around. Hey, you done with that? Yeah. Just picking up
Are
the
there
glasses.
are
And
there
then you get the big
awards?
stack of them.
Yeah.
Be like, people would envy me because like I'm such a good glass stacker.
Are there awards for podcasts? Like, is there like an Emmy for podcasts? Because I think with this material today, we're just wrapping up the potty or the
The
potty,
potty, the
the
potties,
potty. Let's start awarding the potties. We'll give it to ourselves first. So, all right.
glass stacking.
Um, are you throwing out a next one, or was collecting glasses at Founders?
That was on my list. No, no joke.
I have almost zero interest in collecting glasses at Founders. I will say that.
No, not for you.
Yeah, I don't want to pick up dirty glasses. I'd have to wash my hands 1,000 times a night. I'm a little OCD.
You're
So
soft.
yeah, you can have that job.
Okay.
So should I go next on my list?
Yes, please.
How would you like to be a volunteer lighthouse keeper for a summer? Do you ever see these positions? Like you can
Yep.
stay in a lighthouse for free. They pay you like $1 a week,
Hmm.
and you get the pleasure of living in the White House, but you have to like hand out pamphlets and meet and greet people as they're touring the lighthouse and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
This is a little segue into something else I had written down here, but
Okay.
I think I would find it a little bit lonely after a while. I mean, isn't that like the quintessential, like the defining job that means loneliness?
Yeah, but I assume you couldn't you like couldn't I'm assuming they need more than one volunteer. Could you go with somebody? Like, would you like to spend a summer with your family in a lighthouse? Maybe not. I
Oh,
don't know.
no.
No,
No.
not at all. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so no to the lighthouse keeper. All right.
No, I get the romance of it, sure. But
I think it would be cool for like a week. And I think
sure.
you'd be like, all right, let me out of here.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
kept this lighthouse and now it can keep itself.
Keep it self. Yeah. All right. What you got?
All right. You hit on one of the things, and that was like handing out stuff to tourists. I
Mhm.
think a cool Michigan job would be a museum docent. It's the guy who like gives you little tours. Oh yeah, this is a thing. Here's the history of the thing. Let's go on this little walking tour. Let me explain to you. Let me mansplain this historical thing. I'll tell you, there's a place in the Upper Peninsula called Kitchitikipi, which is the
Yeah.
big spring, if you're familiar with it.
Mhm.
So up in Kitchitikipi, it's like a self-winding barge that you can go out, and nobody's manning this thing. You just people get on and they figure out how to do it. So, nobody was kind of taking charge of this. So, and there was a group of probably 2 dozen people, and it was me and my family. Well, me being me, I'm like, is nobody gonna like run the little winch thing or whatever? So I go over to it and I lay into it. I'm like, hi, friends. Welcome to Kitchitikipi. This is one of the Upper Peninsula's finest natural attractions. You'll see if you look in the bottom here, these trout are, swimming, and they're 1,000 years old. And I'm just announcing people like I work there, and I'm wenching the thing. The spring gushes forth 5 million gallons of water every moment, and I like and
You're
my
making up
kids,
facts.
yeah, I just close enough for it to be true, and people are looking at me, and my kids are just like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
And I was like, just kidding, folks. I hope you have a good trip. And I pitched them out there, and that was it. But I got to live into my fantasy of, being being that kind of thing.
I have a relative, and
Impossible.
I'll try not to tell my family's secrets on this podcast because they don't want to be podcast fodder. But I have a relative who will not be named who's very interested in history, and he would go on tours. And if the tour, I was not, I don't know if I was on this tour, or if I just heard the story, but he was on a tour at least once. I think I was there, and he knew an interesting fact about the place we were touring, but the tour guide hadn't mentioned it yet. So he asked a question to
Yeah.
lead the tour guide to answer his question because he
Yeah.
thought it was such interesting fact that everybody should know it.
Yeah.
So if you need a partner in this
I'm
job,
that guy.
you should name a specific. Oh, wait, I guess you name uh Kitchen to Kippy.
Kitchen to Kippy.
Kitchen to Kippy. I've heard of it, never been there. I was gonna say you should name a museum in Michigan, but you did it there, so that's cool. So
I any of that kind of stuff I love. I love to mansplain stuff and just find interesting facts. And yeah.
yeah.
So
So North River Vodka, of course, is distilled at Grand Traverse Distillery in Traverse City. And how would you like to work as like in a distillery distilling alcohol for a Michigan spirit? How would
Hmm.
you like that?
I think I'd like it.
Yeah.
We toured Long Road,
Mhm.
which is right in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
They have a column still.
Mm.
I will tell you, like, it's a lot of science. I shouldn't say science.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of precision.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you have to have your stuff clean. You have to
Yeah.
have the right thing. You have to have all. So it's a little bit into the minutia. I don't think it's quite as glamorous as one might hope.
No, I don't think it's glamorous at all. And I will say, breweries have many more issues with like dangerous things if they do it wrong than distilleries
Oh, okay.
because alcohol, if you screw it up, it's still purifying everything it touches, right?
Sure.
So there are bigger issues at breweries, I think. I will say, I quite often have been at Grand Traverse Distillery when they've been distilling the potatoes from my family's farm into vodka, and I grew up on the farm. I haven't worked on the farm as an adult, but being at the distillery reminds me a little bit of farming. Like there's big, expensive,
Okay.
shiny equipment. There's forklifts.
Yeah.
It's like a giant chemistry set. It always smells good in there. It smells
Yeah.
like a bakery. Like they're
Yeah.
always it's 'cause it's
Yeasty.
wheat cooking or yeast and stuff. Like I just dig being around. If I could find a distillery near my home that would give me a shift a week, I would go drive the fork truck and grind up some grain. Like I just think it's fun. Glamorous. None of those jobs are as glamorous as people think. But
Right.
I would work at a distillery. For sure.
Yep.
So there's my job application. If anybody needs 8 hours a week,
There you
I'm
go.
your guy. Yeah.
My last one I've written down, and this was a job I did for just one season, and that was I was a Christmas tree guy. So like you come to the lot and I help you. I hold up the Christmas tree. Do you like this one? I
Oh.
give it a little twirl. What do you think? Bundling them up, helping, put them on the SUV or whatever you have.
Mhm.
I, drove the tractor around with a wagon to help people get their Christmas tree, that kind of thing. This was before tipping culture was really like
Mhm.
what it is now.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you'd have somebody slip you a couple bucks. You help tie their thing on. Oh yeah, that was like, oh my gosh, I got a tip. Like that was a big deal. Now I feel like, geez, if this is a $50 Christmas tree. If you tip them anything less than like $5, you're kind of poor form.
Where's the place that expects a tip the least that you tip? Is there a place? Because I have one.
I have an example of something
Okay.
I saw. If you go to like Home Depot or a hardware store or something like that, and you want to buy a length of chain, what do you need to do? You need to like summon the person. They come over, they measure, they cut the chain, they answer any questions, and like they give it to you. Do you ever tip that person? Never,
I have not. Have you?
never.
Okay.
But why not? They're doing more work from you than somebody who's, you know, at a ballpark and hands you a prepackaged something.
Fair.
You know?
Fair.
Like who's deciding these rules?
So a pet peeve of mine is when I go to get my oil changed,
Hmm.
the oil change employees get like 50 cents if they sell you windshield wipers and $1 if they sell you a cabin filter. So they're constantly trying to push things on you that you don't need. They're trying to sell you $20 worth of stuff so that they can get a 50-cent bonus. And I can't stand that. I don't like people pushing things on me that I don't need. And every time I find an oil change place that doesn't do that, a big name buys them and then they start doing that.
Sure.
So there's an oil change place near my home that does not do that. And every time I go there, I get my oil changed and I give the guy $5 and I say, thank you for not selling me stuff I didn't need. And he always laughs because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. But I would rather give the guy $5 for not selling me stuff than have him make 50 cents for selling me $20 worth of stuff and then throwing my perfectly good wipers in the trash or whatever. So I tip my oil change guy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I have one more. I actually have a couple more. I don't know what kind of time. Are we over time? It's like David Letterman. I got to pick my pen. Are we over time? Are we over time?
It literally makes no difference.
How would you like to be the kids entertainment ambassador at Great Wolf Lodge?
No, absolutely not. No. Can you imagine dealing with some ornery parent? Like, my child didn't get the thing that they wanted. And you're like, oh, okay, Karen, let me look into that for you. Like, oh, I couldn't even.
This is how
People like me coming to give them a hard time.
this is how I picture the job as. I have to look at it again. Kids entertainment ambassador at Great Wolf Lodge. What's the? We're gonna weasel our. We're gonna back our way into this. What's the dumbest movie that when it comes on and you stumble on it, you just watch till the end, no matter how many times you've seen it, but it's stupid. Like it's making you dumber, but you watch it till the end because I will lead into this with that. Do you have one in mind?
Like, Dumb and Dumber, something like that.
I can't not watch the end of Wedding Crashers.
I've never seen it.
Are you kidding me?
Never seen it.
Wedding Crashers is so stupid, but it's funny. You know, this is going to be lost on you. At some point, they're at a wedding, and one of the guys is making balloon animals. This is lost on you if you've never seen Wedding Crashers. And he's trying to entertain the kids while also trying to entertain some woman nearby because he's crashing a wedding to pick up a woman. And this kid's like, make me a bicycle, you clown. And he's yelling at the guy to make him like this complicated balloon thing. That is how I picture the job
Yeah, just
as kids entertainment ambassador at Grateful
fatiguing.
Lodge is some kid yelling at me and calling me a clown and telling me to make a balloon animal. I hope that Great Wolf Lodge loves the fact that we mention them every week on a podcast that reaches literally dozens of people. They're getting so much free publicity, but neither one of us want that job.
No. I
Right.
was if I don't know if you're familiar with Craig's Cruisers. It's like a family entertainment center.
Nope.
And I was a assistant manager at a Craig's Cruisers once. And so I had to know all the jobs and kind of give breaks and fill in. And yeah, the amount of shenanigans that you have to deal with from the clientele is not enviable. Craig's Cruisers. Now I'm going to get angry letters from Craig's Cruisers. Love you,
Hopefully
Craig.
not.
It's fine.
Hopefully not.
You're listening to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast.
Welcome back to the Michigan's True Spirit podcast. This is the final segment of episode 6, and this is a game we like to call Rock or Crock. If you are not familiar with this game, and I don't know how you couldn't be, it's taking the world by storm. My sister, by the way, thinks you suck at this game.
I do.
She's like, how
Your
was he not
sister knows stuff.
how was he not picked up on your system? She says I have a system. But to your credit,
It is your sister.
it is my sister, and I've sat around the fire at our family's place up north on the Manistee River and waxed poetic about this is the second time I use that phrase tonight, and I hate it. I've talked about some of my dumb band names. So I think they know me and they know my system. So anyway, so far I am 4-1 at Rock or Crock. Eric is 1-4. This is a game where I describe a band that is coming to play a show in Michigan. I give Eric the real name. I give him a fake name. He has to pick which is the real name, Rock, and which is the fake name, Crock, and he's terrible at it. So I hope you'll play along, and I hope you get a different answer than Eric because he for sure is going to lose. Are you ready to play Rock or Crock?
I was before you trashed me in my skills.
I'm going to tell you, normally we're going to go into this a little bit. Normally I like pick one and I try to trick you. Like I try to do like a 60-40, like I try to trick you. Okay. And I don't know if you're familiar with poker, but there's something called game theory optimal, and nobody can play game theory optimal. But if you play game theory optimal, there's no way somebody can beat you. Like no matter what they do, you're flipping a coin. Okay. I think tonight's version of Rock or Crock is as good of game theory optimal as I've come up with so far.
Gosh,
So I
you're a
may
nerd.
lose, but I
You're
think
such
you're
a
going to be
nerd.
lost. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Based between London and New York, this so she lives in the ocean. Iceland? I
Yeah,
guess
the
she goes back and
Azores. Like,
forth,
where are you?
goes
Yeah.
back and forth. Maybe she's on the Faroe Islands. I don't know.
Mhm.
Based between London and New York, this up and coming artist is the internet's newest hot emo girl.
Ooh, I'm into it.
Her music is angsty, but not overly precious. I don't know what that means. Breathing fresh life into traditional shoegaze sound palettes.
Shoegaze. Do you know about shoegaze?
I understand what like navel gazing is, but shoegaze is a new
Shoegaze
term to
is
me.
different because they use all these pedals on the floor, and so they're
Okay.
constantly looking down at the pedals. That's what
Mhm.
shoegaze is about.
Okay, I'll buy. Do I need to start over or can I go going from there?
Just please continue.
As a self-taught musician, this artist is reminding the music industry what it's like to start from scratch. She's gone from not knowing what a bass line is to writing and producing a song that thrashes and shatters your heart over and over again.
Why
Do
would
you
I
need me
want
to
that?
do you need me to hit the highlights? Are you ready to play rock or crock?
Yeah, I'm ready. Please.
Okay, this is where I
Hot
flip the
emo
camera
girl.
down because
Yeah,
I'm a
okay.
poker player and you cannot read my face.
Oh gosh.
Is this artist named Hose Anna?
Oh, Santa. Okay.
Or is this artist
I'll take
named
that.
Suzy Clue?
What's the last one?
Suzy Clue.
Suzy Clue?
Suzy Clue or Hose Anna?
Okay, Hose Anna is it's just too good. Like HOE apostrophe S, like Hose Anna.
I will spell both of these for you. Hose Anna, two words, Hose
Oh, okay, hose.
Anna.
Like she's
The
a
next one
hose.
is Suzy Clue, SUZYCLUE.
Okay.
Both two words, both four letters, and each of their two words, both play on words. I think you're flipping a coin here, sir. What you
All
got?
right. My instincts are yelling at me at which one it is, but I have to say that Hose Anna is is almost too good to be real. Like that seems manufactured by a man with too much time on his hands. That sounds like the fake one. So I'm gonna say Suzy Clue. It seems right. It seems like that would be the real hot emo girl between London and New York. Suzy Clue is the real one. Hose Anna is the fabrication. That's my final answer.
I'm going to tell you the truth. You have won Rock or Crock,
Thank goodness.
but I
Thank
feel like
gosh.
I'm a winner too because you just said that my name is so good
Yeah.
that a band couldn't have come up with it.
Yeah.
You have you've raised me to the level as a band namer that I rightfully deserve. I couldn't be more proud of Hose Anna.
Hose
And I thought it was the perfect pairing for Suzy
For
Clue.
Suzy
So
Clue.
congratulations, you won. You
Finally.
are now 2-4 in
Oh
Rock
my
or Crock.
gosh, thank goodness.
Suzy Clue is opening for Sir Chloe,
Okay.
also a good name, on October 18th at the Majestic Theater in Detroit. Do you know Sir Chloe?
No.
So I've decided from now on I'm going to start listening to these bands for a minute. And Sir
Yeah.
Chloe has like a song that has like I don't want to lie. So let me get on Spotify here for a minute
Just go ahead. Lie.
because yeah, I'm just going to keep rambling. Sir Chloe has a song called Michelle that has 309 million streams on Spotify. I feel like
Jeez.
we should have heard of I mean, we should know a band, and maybe we do. I should hit play on that. But I also will tell you that I listened to one song by Sir Chloe and one song by Suzy Clue, and I would go to that show.
Yeah. You got to
I
expand
would
your
go to that
horizons
show.
a little bit.
It's
Just go to
not
all kinds of stuff.
it's not my wheelhouse, but the first song I listened to by Suzy Clue, I was very intrigued by. I will send you a link after this, and maybe I should put it in the comments so people can find it. So
Absolutely.
anyway, Suzy Clue is opening for Sir Chloe on October 18th at the Majestic Theater in Detroit. We've talked about the Majestic in the past. You still need to get there.
I do.
I'll go back there sometime soon. Anything else to discuss during Rock or Crock? We both
Do I get
while
to
we're
gloat
recording
now?
this.
I get to gloat.
You can
how
gloat.
good
You
I
can
am at
gloat
this
all
game.
week. You should just like strut walk around all week, like you're a chicken
Here's my
or
strut.
a rooster, I
Do-do-do.
guess it would be.
Make it
Yeah, just strutting around town. People be like, "Why are you strutting?" And you'd be like, "I'm my winning percentage is now 333 in rocker crock."
People know I
Be
got
proud, be
that.
loud, man. Be proud,
Got
be
that
loud.
big rocker crock energy.
What
Big cock
concert did
energy.
we sacrifice tonight for the good of the people? Because it was either the podcast this week or the concert. Can you tell
White
people so they
Reaper.
understand? Yeah, the sacrifice we made is we missed White Reaper at Pyramid Scheme.
I mean,
And
I
I don't know
could
if you
still
know this,
go.
but White Reaper had like 3 opening bands.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's why I could probably go and still not miss any.
you should go. I couldn't make it in time to go, but my plans were all messed up this week, and I decided
No
2 hours
way.
ago I could actually make it. And I think I decided it was too late at that point. Um, so still hopeful for a Black Pistol Fire Cage the Elephant doubleheader
Yeah.
next week. We'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. Got a lot of moving parts going on at home right now, so I'm not sure I can make that both of those, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
But whether I make it or not, you should go. Black Pistol Fire is.
They're fun.
Have you? What's the band that you've seen that gives more energy to their show than the Black Pistol Fire show we saw?
Ooh, that was pretty much up there. I mean, Pup is pretty good, but
It Pump might be all I've got. I might be the only contender I have for like never mailing it in, like not mailing in 1 second of a show. Like Black Pistol Fire just absolutely brings it.
they're
So
good.
whether you love them or not, I'm gonna put you on the spot. What is Black Pistol Fire genre? And then I'm gonna look it up while we debate.
I would say they're not metal. They're not alternative. Pretty much standard issue rock. I
You
don't
know what
know.
I was gonna say is I was gonna say blues rock, which I didn't even know was a
Yeah,
thing.
sure. Yep.
So this says Black Pistol Fire genre is best described as a high energy fusion, that's fair, of southern rock, blues rock, which is the term
Yeah.
I thought I created 10
Yeah.
seconds ago, and garage punk,
Sure.
creating a high octane and gritty sound with dynamics and power akin to classic rock groups like Led Zeppelin. So Black Pistol Fire has one guy who plays a guitar like nobody you've seen play guitar live before, and another guy who I don't think has put a shirt on in his life and plays the
Why would you?
drum, but occasionally plays the drum with one hand while he's playing a keyboard with another. Guy that plays guitar has 87 different pedals and a couple of mics. Like it's an absolute riot. So go see Black Pistol Fire.
You should.
So that's it for Rocker Crock. And that's it for this episode. We always end by thanking people and telling people what they should do, like to subscribe and stuff. But do you want to just go?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the lighthouse keepers out there. It's a lonely job. Thanks for keeping the lights on.
Yeah, thanks to all the fudge paddlers and all the kids ambassador and entertainment ambassadors
Yeah.
at Great Wolf
If you're
Lodge.
ambassadoring those kids, man, you should get a gold star.
Thanks for working at the distillery and making some yummy North River vodka. One I didn't touch on. Thanks for driving the beverage cart at Arcadia Bluffs. We ran out of time, but that would be a good time as well. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for all that. So, any last words?
I don't think so. Thanks, people.
Thanks and good night.